Exciting day on hand, a beautiful Saturday morning, still a little bit chilly. Waves nice and clean, offshore winds much smaller than what we had on hand yesterday. Nat Young, former Rookie of the Year, taking on Jadson Andre. So we didn't really get to know him yet, and a lot's changed since then. During the break pots, Nat Young got a start.
Yeah, look at the size of that wave there. Where did that come from? Nat Young just getting caught behind the section right there. Unfortunate for Nat Young, but that's what's going to happen on these right-handers. You got to make sure that you connect exactly at the right time. Nat Young, wasting no time. He watched Brett Simpson come up short and is not going to make that same mistake. Nat Young looking like there's a little bit of urgency right now. Jadson Andre pulls up into the barrel, driving, and doesn't come out of that one. So Nat Young, a 5.33 and a 4. Jadson Andre with just that 1 point ride. Snuck past his opponent yesterday. That was a very tight heat between him and Miguel.
Kind of was doing it more consistently than anyone on tour that season. As we look at Jadson on the back end, just trimming that lip line into a rooftop float, and he'll come down with it. 107 before that for Jaddy. That's his best wave so far, 25 to go. We'll rewind it from the channel to see Jadson start.
Racing down the line on his backhand, kind of a check turn right there, and now up and on top of the lip there, just a little bit longer than he would have liked. Kind of got stuck a little bit, but a nice little confidence builder for Jadson. Right there, floats, and then just gets down in time. So Jadson Andre, 24 minutes remaining, puts his best score on the board. Joe, he's becoming more of the elder statesman on the Brazilian Storm.
Well, now Nat Young with priority will set up the backhand, nails it off the lip, hops on top of the roof for a backhand float, quick little closeout connection for Nat Cy Young to try to better a 4.0.
He's so solid on his feet. I like the upper body stays nice and quiet as well. Jams it off the top right there, comes down around the section, up and over the top. See how quiet that upper body is for Nat. Not a lot of moving parts, which means there's not a lot of room for error.
As we'll get back to that, Jadson in position for a little backhand tube. Pulls in, keeps that high line, he'll punch out. Now off the bottom, clean snap, looking at this inside track with some momentum. Nice and vertical, and Jadson shuts it down. Barrel, carve, snap to finish. 1.07's long gone.
That is definitely long gone. Nat Young dropped to 6.5, so Jadson needing a 7.53. Jadson up and riding here. Sneaks into a nice little barrel there. Comes out and then does a lot of damage on the inside as well. Beautiful turn right there, and then gets the board nice and vertical. Jams it up through the lip there. You talk about Nat and Jadson, both been on their backhand, but both look so different. Jadson a little bit more energetic, a little bit more raw, whereas Nat's upper body stays a lot more quieter than Jadson. Watch this turn right here. Bang, throws the board nice and vertical, gets that body nice all the way around, and then the board follows. Tight little barrel there. I'm not sure how that's going to score in the judges' eyes, but these last couple of turns, nice and clean there from Jadson. Definitely going to better his situation. Needing a 7.53. You know, you can get a bit of a roll happening.
Jadson pulls in on his forehand out front. Quick barrel, setting up a hammer for a finishing move. Another little barrel to snap combination. What more do you want in a beach break?
Exactly. People pay good money for that little wave right there, but you know, I like it. Jadson's starting to get busy.
As we'll take another look at this attempt for the score.
Yeah, nice clean little tube ride right there. Comes out and unloads a beautiful snap. Perfect timing for Jadson. You know, you can always guarantee that he's going to try and fit as much in on a wave as possible.
Jadson paddles close to Nat. Nat has priority, and he'll set up the forehand tube. Great line to start. He'll get a little too deep and doesn't come out.
Wow. Well, let's have a look at Nat's wave here first. Driving through the barrel there. What happened? It kind of clipped him right there. Just got caught. That wave ran away though and sort of eventually closed out.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have high scores, and I've lost a lot of those heats, and that's just comes to maybe a little bit of the commitment to a spot that I want, but you also just can't leave your competitor like down the beach. You might get a perfect nugget. So yeah, I'm just, you know, I'm looking forward. I had a nice first heat. Obviously the conditions are perfect. It's a little bit soft at times, but yeah, just keep moving forward, you know. It's part of the game. Like, I've learned a lot. There's a lot of things that I would do different, you know, but Yeah, all these guys are good. Like, you make mistakes, and I feel like you pay the price a lot of times, you know. And I see some guys make mistakes and they don't, but it's like that's just the name. That's what it is, you know. You got to commit to something that you're going to do, and whether you need a 6.5 or whatever it is.
The battle sometimes. We'll get back to that in a moment. Getting caught up in this heat, Jadson just went to town on his backhand.
Yeah, a couple of beautiful turns right there, finding that rhythm and fitting 3 beautiful turns in, finishing off on his feet. Which, you know, he was a little confused on that last score, 5.2, didn't quite get it. Asking the question, was that good enough? Was that a 5.33, judges? And then right behind him, Nat Young, an opportunity to capitalize. Beautiful turn off the top. And again, you can see the power that Nat Young puts into his surfing. But then right there, wow. Well, that was a super close hit right there between 2 goofy footers. You can see Jadson. You see how much it means to this kid. Every heat, he's fighting for his place on tour.
As we see Nat Young on the replay, they just want to see the last couple of rides, and they'll start making their comparisons. Jadson at the end getting the 6.67. Had some early waves where he was getting barreled, throwing in combos. A pretty classic heat. At the bottom of the tide, so a little bit challenging. They found a couple of pockets to work with.
Well, they're going right back to, that was Jadson's 6.5. Let's have a look at Jaddy's wave right here. This is a 6.67. Bangs off the top. Comes around the section. Another nice little snap. And then finished. Didn't quite connect on that last turn there, Joe. And then this is Nat Young's one right behind it. Nice turn off the top right there. Another big snap with a bit more of a slide. Bangs it off the top there and then makes that mistake. Very crucial mistake right there. I thought Nat was well and truly on his way to a good score right there. Had he finished that wave on his feet, you can see right now, waiting for the decision.
And Jadson hasn't moved. He's just been hoping, praying. Nat Young needs a 6.67. You look at those first 2 turns and you're watching him in your head, seeing him finish, you're giving him the score. Were those first 2 turns solid enough to do it without the finish spots?
Yeah, I don't think so, Joe. And I think it's going to be close. We saw how close Jadson came with that 5.2 to getting the score, but he fell. So you can't really give someone a score if they're going to fall. You're going to have to do something really dynamic at the beginning. There it is right there, Joe.
A 6.47 for Nat Young. It's not enough. A split decision from the panel. 2 judges thought it was enough, and it doesn't come through. Jadson gets another very close victory to move on to round 4 of the Quicksilver Pro, and let's go of all of that emotion. Same sort of reaction when he beat Pupo in a tie break.